Hey everybody, welcome in. I know this is a little bit different than you're used to seeing from Tubbins and myself, which by the way, forgot to introduce him, but Tubbins is here, so welcome in Tubbins.
Oh wow, hang on.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, glad to be here. I have a double sound going on. All
Oh,
right,
okay.
hang on.
Well, anyway, while he gets
Yeah,
that
yeah,
figured out, I'll just go ahead and let you guys know. This is different, right? This is something that neither me or Tubbins has ever done. We don't really know what the real outcome of this is going to be. But a lot of things has happened. A lot of things have been going on for, if we want to be completely honest, years, right? Not just the wargaming, but with the community as a whole. So anyway, we're going to give some time for people to kind of filter in here, 15 minutes or whatever. I'll put up some screenshots on the screen for you guys to see. Just kind of give you a chance to read that over. If you're in our Discord, we also posted some of this stuff in the Discord, just to kind of provide a little bit of transparency to the situation. We've kind of left a lot of things out. If other people want to speak up in the future, then that's on them. But I'll go ahead and pull them over, let you guys see that. We'll give some time for people to filter in here. And you'll have to let me know if y'all can see this on the screen. You should be able to read it. And I really appreciate the follows, so you guys, and whatever you guys do. I'm going to try to keep up with some of that stuff. But yeah, if I miss something, I apologize ahead of time, but I really appreciate it. And we'll go back through chat here in a few. I'm trying not to let it distract me from our ultimate goal today, which is just to provide transparency. So anyway, I'll start off with the first couple of screenshots. I'll give you guys some time to read it. You have to let me know if you can read it. I don't know if it's going to look right. I didn't really have time to put together like high quality graphics or anything. So I'm just kind of trying to provide you some screenshots from the Discord. But do we have thumbs up on you can read it, you can't read it?
Oh, I should be able to read that. But yeah, I mean, we just want to get a couple people in here. I know this is kind of a weird stream, and I don't really know, I kind of feel like, honestly, like kind of weird even doing it. But I also feel like if I don't do it, I know nobody else is gonna do it. Okay, so like if that makes sense. So this is gonna be, a little out of the ordinary for us, but at the end of the day, I've never done anything like this before. Honestly, I've always tried to stay out of things like this. But I actually think this is some of the most ridiculous stuff I've seen. And I feel like it should be brought to light because at the end of the day, there's way too many of us out here have put way too much time in to this comp community and this game period to literally have it kind of go down like this. I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff that I don't think people know or people realize or people don't want to admit, however you want to look at it, right? And I think, I'm not going to be here doing this unless I really feel like it's actually a pretty necessary thing to kind of do. So we'll kind of see how this plays out, but we want to give a few minutes to let people get in here. Also, we're going to have the chat on no delay, okay? You guys can feel free, like right now before we get started, to ask us any questions you guys want. We'll try to answer them as honestly as we can, and I'll give you my honest opinion, and I'll even, whether it makes me look bad or not, it is what it is, right? But so we want to do that. We want to make sure you guys have a voice to ask us anything you absolutely want. It doesn't matter to me. And then once I get going, I'm going to give you guys everything from my perspective, okay? I'm not going to get into the screenshots and stuff like that. That's more of Noodles thing, okay? I don't screenshot anything anybody says. I never have, okay? So that's not really been my cup of tea. I usually don't even do any like this. I mean, any of you guys who've known me, I don't chase people around, try to get a ban, to use rules against people, or do any of that garbage because it's really not worth it. But at the end of the day, I feel like the way that I was kind of treated and the way the situation was handled, at least especially regarding me, was pretty stupid and maybe kind of should be brought to light. Because the way that this is going, I honestly feel like you guys are completely wasting your time if you're going to follow these people and go with what they want to do. But that's also my personal opinion, and I'm going to try to use as much logic as I can to prove that point to you. And it's pretty sad considering that, this game's been around for such a long time. And so many of us have been around the whole time. Like I don't play the game anymore. I'm not going to sit here and say that like I have a desire to play today, because I don't. But at the end of the day, all my friends that I've made online is from this game. Even the people that I play other games with to this day is from this game. My best friends that I've made on internet, I'll be honest with you, like some of my internet friends are better than the friends I've even have in real life. I don't even see them anymore, So it's kind of sad and pretty stupid that I even feel like I even have to sit here and do this. That it's been so long and things are getting worse. And that's true. Yes, I know I do owe you a 1v1. But either way, so anything you guys want to ask us before we get started? We'll probably wait, a few more minutes, get some people in here, and then I'll start going from my point of view of how I got brought in here to coming back to the game and streaming, and I'll give you the exactly what I saw and what happened to me, and you guys can make your own opinions on that, and we'll just go from there. Jokers, man, I haven't seen that guy in a long time.
If I'm not giving you enough time to read these, I apologize. You can always join the Discord and go read them there. I think they've also been posted other places. You can screenshot it from the stream, whatever you need to do. And I'll provide a little bit of info on them later too. We're just, like I said, we're going to give a little bit of time for people to filter in. I know we got some things going on in the community right now. So, people will be coming in here real soon.
Oh, and also, like, if you want to ask us something, please just, like, at one of us. And, oh, okay, fair enough, Jokers. Just add us, and as soon as I see it, I'll answer it. Like, even if you guys want to start now, before I get started, before we get everybody in here. And I'll answer any question you want. Like, I'm an open book. Anybody who knows me knows I'm an open book. I literally have nothing to hide. And I'm going to make that very, very clear with the stuff I'm going to say. So, if people want to try to use anything against me, go for it. Try to find it. You ain't going to find it. It didn't happen. So, I feel like, maybe I kind of am the right person to bring this to light. I don't really know. I mean, we'll find out. We'll see how everything turns out. But at the end of the day, if what is going on, as far as the tournaments run by Wargaming and stuff, if what's going on, I have zero desire to play anyway. So, I mean, I hate to say this, but I mean, there's no way, I just disagree with so much that's going on, and some of the people that are in charge, and some of the people that are making the calls, and some of the people that are making the rules, and whatever they're doing, to me, it's just, it's not right, and honestly, it's unfair. And I do feel like, as far as this community is concerned, I feel like we've got away from realizing that, like, you guys need to understand something, man, is that, like, this game is here for you, It's not here for them. We're not here to please the people who are running it or the people who, own the game, or however you want to put it, right? Like, we're here for us. And I really feel like the community's got away from really uniting and understanding that, like, we should be doing what's good for everybody around here, not some selfish bullshit that fucks everybody else beneath you. But either way, I mean, that's how I look at it. So hopefully, you guys can read the screenshots a little bit. There's a lot, and I'm going to say this, there's a lot we're not even going to tell you today. Because we don't really want to get into a whole giant rabbit hole of going through a million of these things. We're just going to try to make our points so you guys can see why we're doing this, And I honestly feel like, if you know me, right? If you played in a clan with me, if you played against me, if you got to know me, whether I helped you or anything in the past, if you know who I am, I ain't shooting rainbows. You know what I mean? And so I was going to say the other word, but either way, like, I'm not going to sit here and just blow smoke at you, man. Like, this is exactly what it is. And I don't really need to prove that, because anybody who knows me knows how I am. I tell it how it is. And if people don't like it, well, that's not my problem. I'm not here to feel bad because somebody else did something they shouldn't have done. Especially if I make one mistake in 12 years and I'm shit canned. Okay, because there are plenty of people still playing that game that have done a lot worse than what I did, including the actions that I even called them out for doing. Right? So take it for what it is. But either way, has anybody asked anything, or is everybody too scared to ask a question? You still there, Noodle?
Yeah, I'm just doing the screenshots.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome in everybody.
Gentlemen.
We should be ready to rock and roll here real soon. I think we're giving people enough time to get in. I'm just waiting on a message here from somebody, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll anytime here. But yeah, if you have any questions about anything, hit us with it right now before we get going, and we'll try to answer it as best we can.
What's going on with hockey? My team's not very good. They're okay though. Better than I thought they were going to be. At least I'll say.
Hello, Graham. And then last
Also,
but
you
not
guys-
least on screenshots.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but like if you're gonna ask us, like please just put the name before us, so like we know who you're asking, or you know which one you want us to answer it, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that helps.
And I will say this, so we're pretty much ready to go. I'll just give you all a second to read this last screenshot, and then I'm gonna put another screenshot up, and I'm gonna address something one time during this stream. If you have questions about it, you need to go talk to the people that are in control over it. I'm going to provide you with the information. It's up to you guys whether you go and do something about it. I've tried. I've been banned and removed from everything for doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I like to answer this one guy like Showtime's question. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not really a big drama guy. I will say this about myself. I don't necessarily run away from drama. If I feel like something's warranted and somebody deserves to be called out and it creates drama, well, then that is what it is. But at the end of the day, I've never really been caught up in too much of it over the years. I can't really speak for Noodle, but I can speak for myself. I never really was more of that. I'm just kind of say my piece, flip you the bird, and I'm done. You know, I'm not going to sit there and go back and forth with you or argue with you. And it's kind of what you're going to see today. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to spill my points to you and tell you how I see things. And whatever you want to do with that, you do with it. But I'm going to be pretty much done with it after today. You know, I'm not going to go back and fight for this or do this. This is going to be up to you guys. Like at the end of the day, right, if the comp community wants what's best for comp, we have to work together and we have to put the right people in place to make that happen. Okay? And I'm not going to sit here and say that I have the perfect way of doing that, or I know a way better way of doing that, or I have all the answers and I'm a genie in a bottle, because I'm not. Right? But I do know that I've been around for a really long time. And at the end of the day, if the comp community is, as time goes on, continually getting worse and worse, well then maybe, yeah, something should change. Because you can't deny some things. Like you can't deny that the tournaments not run by Wargaming are getting more people. That is true. Right? Why is that? Like, that's a big thing to me. Like, why are people choosing not even to get prizing to do that? Right? Is it because of the prizing, because of this? But either way, we'll get on to that in a little bit as soon as everybody gets in here.
I think we're good to go. So I'm going to provide some context to some of these messages. I'm going to address this one time. I'll repeat this. I'm going to address this one time. If you have any issues with anything you see, screenshot it, go to Discord. It's all posted there. And you can go to the people that are responsible for these, okay? So I'm going to address this stuff real quick, and then I'm going to open the floor to Tubbins, and I'm going to let Tubbins speak. So real quick, I just want to hit on this. This is the message where I provide the information that I've stated about a certain CATA that was involved in, we've used the word cheating, but I think a more proper term would be abuse of power on multiple occasions. That was not an accident. I will also let you know that this person was given the ability to decide their own punishment for the situation. So keep that in mind, by the way. But I'll just read it out loud for those of you that can't see it. But there was at least one verified instance of a player playing before eligibility began. Separate occurrences. 2 players were added to the Murder EU roster between registration in and the first matches that started. These changes were not declared in any chats or logs. Also, the addition of 2 players in 1 week is not allowed. So there's 2 separate things. So then we're going to go on weeks later. Okay, weeks later, not the same day, not a week later, not a day later, not an hour later, literally weeks later. 2 players were added to the Murder EU roster. These changes were declared in the Murder EU roster, but not in the roster change channel. And this was after it was closed for all their teams. So you take that information for what you want. The ultimate punishment of that was the EU team was disqualified from the tournament, and that is that. Now, I let it go, and I didn't say a single word about it after the decision was made until Tubbins got removed from being my co-host on our streams. And then that's when I started to go ask questions about why Tubbins has been removed for saying, and let me provide this info for you guys that do not know. Tubbins was removed for simply stating in our last comp stream what is actually true. A team cheated.
I mean,
now,
yeah.
I'm not taking away from what Tubbins did.
I'll get into all that.
Yeah, myself. I'm not taking away from what Tubbins did. All I was simply doing was trying to get the people in charge to be unbiased, transparent, and give the same types of punishments to the other people in the community that break rules as well, not just pick and choose who they apply rules to. So that's what all these screenshots are about, was me getting removed for trying to get to the bottom of Tubbins being removed.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna cut you. I'm gonna cut you off.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty much done with them, right?
Yeah, I mean, as far as Loco goes, like what you just said, if you're gonna make something like that, prove it. Okay, like send a thing on Discord, prove it. Have somebody send a noodle. We'll show it on.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'll say this about that, Guano. Actually, I've said this before twice already in this stream. This information was not information that I gathered. This information was information gathered by the people that were supposed to. So if you have questions about what I just told you, you can reach out to the people that are in charge of the tournaments. It is up
and
to
at the
them.
end of the day, I want really everybody to understand this, okay? I'm only here to show what I know, okay? I am not here to play sides. I am not here to pick this. I am not out to get anybody. I'm literally to show what the actions of everything happen. So if you have something else that you want to light, don't sit there and make accusations and say that something's not true. Prove it, and we'll do it right here. Because I'm not here on somebody else's side. I'm not a biased person. I do not care. You understand? So if there's something that makes me look bad, myself look bad, give it to Noodle, put it on the stream. You have my permission. I will not hide it. Okay? I promise you. Any of you people, when you want to bring up things or you want to fight what we're going to say, prove it. Otherwise, your word means nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you're not a person who's in these chats, if you're not a person who saw this, and you're a person who's taking the word of somebody else, that's on you, man. Okay? The reason why we're doing this stream is so you people can sit there and make your own decision. Don't be influenced by somebody else. Don't let somebody else tell you what's true. Take the information and make it your own logical decision yourself. Okay? Like that is the main point of this. So you guys can see, and you guys can sit there and make a decision for yourself for once. You know what I mean? And that's not directed at everybody, but I'm sure there's some people that's listening to this that are like that. You don't need to listen to somebody else. Listen to yourself, man. Okay? That's it. That's the only person you need. You don't need another person to tell you, oh, no. Okay? Because at the end of the day, a lot of these people, well, I'm not going to say a lot of these people, but some of these people, okay, have done weird stuff in the past. And I don't care what you people say, okay, is that, yes, the past maybe isn't as important as the present, or whatever you want to look at it, but it paints a picture, man, okay? Like, if somebody is willing to do something 3 years ago that was extremely shady, you need to understand, what is their thought process, okay? And it's not even the action that really the action that comes out of it. It's like, why is somebody even thinking like that? And then when you get caught, they're so ashamed of it, right? Then why'd you even do it in the first place? So that goes for everybody who wants to make a comment like that guy did. Prove it. We'll put it on the stream. There's nothing to hide. This stream does not benefit me or Noodle in any way. You know, it's here to benefit you guys so you guys can make a decision on what you guys want to do with the game that you play right now and how you think it should be fixed. Because at the end of the day, if you're sitting there right now and you think everything is great in this comp community, then I don't know what you're looking at or what you're on. I don't know, because this is the worst I've seen it. And obviously that's my opinion, okay? But I have played, and this thing, like, you guys need to understand something. I don't know if there's a person in this game, literally in this whole game, who's played more comp than me. I don't think there is. Like, out of every single player in this whole thing, I don't think there's actually a person who's played more comp than me. And I'm not saying that because I'm necessarily proud of that. To be honest with you, it's somewhat embarrassing. But either way, it's still true, right? So I've been around tournament after tournament. I've been on staffs in tournaments. I've commentated with a lot of people. I've been on a lot of stream. I've done a lot of matches. I've done a lot of scrims. I've done it all, right? There's nothing, and there's really nobody in this community that I don't even know, right? So, like, I know all you people, you know? I know all the people that run the game. I know all the tournaments that have been played. I've been there. You know, good or bad, whether my team did good or whether my team did bad, or whether I had multiple teams, doesn't matter. Yeah, I know. You have nothing to prove. Then why are you here? Just to say things and to not be able to prove them? What's the point of that, dude?
All right, well, we don't need to get caught up on chat at this point. We can just...
No, I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
But either way, okay. I just wanted to make a point to that guy. So, like, if everybody wants to do it, you know, you have
Absolutely.
the floor. You know, like, you have the floor to send Noodle whatever you want. We'll put it on the thing. You know, if you disagree with what we're saying or you have proof to combat what we're saying, by all means, show us. If you have anything against me, by all means, show me. Right? Because there's no person who's been around longer than me. And literally, you're not going to find anything. So knock yourself out. But either way, we're going to go back.
It is a replay, by the way. I just want to mention that. This is a replay from months ago. Great game, though. Want to point that out. But anyway, floor's yours, Stubbins.
Okay. So either way, context of how I got brought back in the game. Okay. I was asked by a few people in the community, me and Noodle, okay, if we can come back and stream the finals of a tournament a little while ago. I don't even remember what the name of the tournament was. But if we can come back, because a lot of the players in the finals, or a lot of the players in general, felt like the people who were streaming the games didn't give the best, like, analytic look of what was happening, okay? That they didn't have the experience, they didn't understand the game as well as others, and they didn't enjoy listening to their commentating because it wasn't really about what was going on or what the strategy was and stuff like that. So they asked me and Noodle to come in and do that, okay? And I was like, okay, that's fine. We did. Everything was great. In the beginning of this, obviously when I came back, just like every other time you take a 6-month or a year break in this game, when you come back, there's a new community manager, okay? And when I first came into this and I talked when we were going to do the streams and everything was good, I realized after we kind of did that for like a week or two that there was a real divide in the community. Okay? So I went to the guy who was running the tournament at the time and I said to him, "Can I talk to the other TAs or the other streamers? Can I get them in a chat to talk to them?" Right? Because there was a huge thing where people were really upset that people got to pick the matches that they were doing, and other streamers were starting to leave, or they didn't really want to do it, felt like they weren't going to get the matches they weren't going to get, yada. So I wanted to talk to them. Now, on the flip side of this, I'm going to tell you right now, there was 2 points that I had that I didn't disagree with. One, I felt like the one guy that was picking the matches, okay, honestly had a right to, okay? The guy's been around forever. Okay, so I said, I disagree that he shouldn't be able to pick. I said he should be. The other person I didn't know. Okay, so I wanted to talk to them and see what their outlook was. And truthfully, I felt like if what I was being told and the other person, the other TA wasn't being told this, that the community felt like they weren't doing the best job that they could as far as like showing the strats and yada yada yada, or their tanks, or why you're taking a tank here. I mean, you guys get what I'm saying, right? So I felt like that was actually unfair to them if you were going to not tell them that and then just bring in somebody to replace them. Okay, so I wanted to talk to them. Okay, now I don't know this for a fact. I did not reach out to them. I will say that right now. They did not reach out to me. Understand that. I was told they don't want to talk to me. Okay, and I get it. They got what they wanted to. They're up there. I'm down here. Whatever the case is, they didn't want to talk to me. So understand something about that situation. If they're really there for the community, why aren't they taking 10 minutes to even talk to the other person who's streaming the games? I don't know. You tell me. So either way, we went on with this. I didn't really make a big deal about it. We did our thing. I think we had to do a finals on YouTube or something where we could stream, but we could be on YouTube, and it was a whole big ordeal with this. Yada, yada, yada. And then we kept kind of streaming, and things kind of honestly kind of got pretty good. I think we had some giveaways, which is really big for me and Noodle. It helps us out because a lot of the people who come and watch our streams watch us over other people, and they don't get the drops. They don't get the giveaways. They literally just watch us because they like our commentating. They like us better. However you want to cut it, however you want to slice it. Maybe they click the wrong button. That's why they're watching us. Either way, so that was good for us. Then all of a sudden, where we were getting the giveaways from, that person kind of disappeared. I didn't really think too much about it. Didn't really care about it, right? Didn't really affect me. Kind of went on. Am I kind of staying with the timeline here, Noodle? I think so. So, either way,
Yeah.
that person kind of disappeared. Then we start streaming this. The noon tournament comes up, right? I think it's what, CTW. We do that one week. We come in the next week. Now, for me, this is where I'm kind of guilty, okay? We came in to stream a match a couple weeks ago. I show up and I'm told that this person, this other TA was caught cheating, yada, 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 this, and it bothered me, okay? I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It bothered me, okay? Then I went to go stream this other game, okay? And lo and behold, okay, there's a guy that I'm going to stream who is a known cheater and probably did the most ridiculous cheating I have ever seen in my life. Okay, as far as at least on a video game. I mean, as far as thinking wise, pretty warped in my opinion. So, understand something. Every single time I've ever streamed this guy, he complains about me. Every time over the years, right? He ain't new. I ain't new at streaming. Every single time he complains. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, try to make myself look good. The reality is I said to myself, I'm going to get my money's worth. Okay? I knew he was going to complain, so I called him out for what he did. Okay? Now, for you people who don't know what he did, I'm not going to get super in details, but it's pretty warped, and I think half the reason why I tell this story is probably because it's so ridiculous, okay? The guy created a league so lower teams, intermediate teams could play in the league. He got to the finals of his own league that he created, and he took a bunch of super unicoms, put them on his roster, and clapped the cheeks of the other team in the finals so he can win the whole league that he set up for intermediate teams not to play super unicoms. Now, I don't care who you are, okay? That is some weird shit to do, okay? Like, that is some whole next level. I don't know what you're thinking. So from my perspective, one, that guy shouldn't even be in wargaming tournaments. Okay, like that should be a ban, period, from wargaming tournaments if a person like that is willing to do those things. Now, I understand you can sit here and say, well, it wasn't wargaming run, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Everybody in the community knows what he did. Okay, the other flip side of that is anybody new coming into the cop community has every single right to know what that guy did because they have to make a choice of who they're going to join, who they're going to play with, and who they want to be associated with. Okay, and people have a right to know when they're making a decision about those things that I just mentioned about the people's past. Okay, now, did I maybe go over the top a little bit? Yeah, maybe. Could I have probably put it a better way? Yeah. Could I have not said it all? Yeah. But the reality is, I've always done that. That's also what everybody needs to understand. I've always called people out for cheating and doing that. Now, I also got a little bit of flack because the other guy on the other team who used to play for me, well, he didn't actually play for me. He played on my second team, but he was in my clan. I know. And any single other person who knows him, I don't even need to explain about him. Okay? That guy is his own worst enemy. I'm not even going to sit here and waste my time explaining what kind of person that is, because everybody in the chat or anybody who's ever going to listen to this who's already met that guy already knows he can do the explaining himself. Okay? So he had 2 games. He did really bad. He left the lobby. I said he rage quit to go get his binky. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Do I 100% know that that's true, that he ran to go get a binky? No. Do I probably think it's true? Yeah. Okay, and I'm not going to apologize for saying either of those things. Okay? The other thing is, remember, I was asked to come back and stream. Okay? Now, you can look this up and you can watch. This is not the first time on stream I've called somebody out for cheating, and this is not the first time I've called somebody out for rage quitting and being a baby. So my thing is this, is that why am I even there if the way that I commentate isn't what you want? Okay? Like, why am I even there? I don't know. You tell me. Okay? Because I showed up, did the same thing I always do, acted the way I always do. Like, I'm always myself. So I acted completely the same. And now all of a sudden it's a huge problem. Okay? Now, at first, when this got brought to light, oh, you did that, I explained just what I said to you guys. I knew he was going to complain. I was going to get my money's worth. I understand I went over the top. I even looked at the rules. If you look at the thing in the rules, I don't know if Noodle can bring them up or not, but underneath there's bullet points, okay? No, they're not numbered, and it says, like, warning, something else banned, okay? Now, for me, I knew I was probably going to get repercussion for this. Now, on the other flip side of this, my thought process was, 2 weeks before this even happened, I saw a guy go in a trading room and write the most racist, anti-Semitic thing you could possibly think of, okay? You follow what I'm saying? So I saw this guy write the most whacked out shit that had no place of being on a video game ever, and he got banned from the game for 2 weeks, probably got a 2-week vacation. Okay? So that played a factor in it too, because I knew, well, what is really the worst thing you're going to do? Because there ain't no way what I did was worse than what that guy's did, right? And that guy's stuff got put on stream too, because it was on our stream, because we happen to be in the custom rooms waiting for a match to open up. So that guy can say that stuff on stream, right? And he gets a 2-week ban from the game, probably back playing, no repercussions at all right now, acting like it never happened, right? So I knew something was going to happen, right? And the response I got is everybody should feel welcome. That's also where I have a pet peeve. Why should this toxic guy, who's been toxic for over 10 years, feel welcome? And why should probably the biggest shooter this game's ever had feel welcome? Why? Why are these people welcome anyway? Is that how we run Wargaming sponsored tournaments? We let these kind of people in? Aren't these the, like, you can look at it any way you want, right? When you let people in like that, it does more harm than good in the long run. And I understand you want numbers, right? And I understand it is what it is, and you try to make everybody happy, and you try to give people second chances. But there's some things that maybe don't deserve second chance, at least in my opinion. So I got a message saying, hey, probably moving forward, we're going to have you not stream those 2 teams again. You'll probably get an official warning. Don't do it again. No worry about it. That's what I was told was probably going to happen. I'm not saying that's what I told is going to happen. That was what I was told was probably going to happen. I said, okay, that's fair. Fair enough. I told them why I did it. I told them my piece. Okay, right? Is what it is. Then all of a sudden I get a message from another person saying I'm banned, okay? Now, the person who banned me didn't message me. The person who banned me's never even talked to me, okay? They just sent somebody else to come ban me. So I said not some nice things to that guy, okay? And ended up kind of talking out with him. I actually have a lot of respect for that guy. And I told him my situation, and I told him I felt like the only way to I felt like this was unfair to me, okay? I felt like I've done a lot for this community, okay? I've been in a lot of tournaments. I ran a really big clan for a very long time, multiple teams in tournaments. There was a lot of times where I would go into other clans and try to help their callers. There was a lot of times where if I had extra players, I would send them to other teams to help them out. Obviously not my top, but I always would. I always tried to be as nice as I could to people as long as they were like that to me. You know what I'm saying? So after all I've done, after running tournaments for this community, after commentating for this community, after playing in tournaments for this community, putting multiple teams in tournaments for this community, helping out multiple clans, after I did all of this, I make one mistake, which honestly wasn't even lying. It's not even like I made anything up. I do one thing the whole time, one goddamn thing, and all of a sudden I'm boom out of there. Okay? Not, hey, warning, not, hey, you've been here for over 10 years. Don't do this again. We understand you made a mistake. None of that. Just boot. There's the door. Not even the kind of courtesy of the person booting to even say anything to me. Okay? Now, at the end of the day, it's whatever. And I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't break the rules. But if you do read the rules, they kind of look like there was a structure to it, right? And I know they don't have numbers, but it does look that way. It is a structure on what should happen. And then I kind of just started, well, whatever, this is what it is, right? If they want to do that, I don't want anything to it. But the main other thing is that if I can do all of this for the community, and this is the thanks I get, what's going to happen to everybody else? You know what I mean? Like, and the other people that get in trouble, they got to make their own punishment? Like, what is that? Like, this stuff doesn't even make any sense to me, man. Like, I don't comprehend how these things are being run, because it makes absolutely no sense. And I understand that people are going to sit there and say, well, you know, they got a lot coming. They got a lot coming in the new year and yada, yada, yada. Let's be real here, okay, for a second. First of all, since the dawn of this game, people have been asking for camos for the tanks, for the community tanks. And the reason why they've been doing that is because most of us who have been playing the game since the end of the day got into this game because PC used to have an esports and they used to have custom camos. Okay? We've never got them. Okay? Ever. We've never got anything. We used to have to run our own tournaments. I played in the first tournament that was ever ran on this game, community ran, and then we were able to do WCT, I think it was called. We did those for 3, and it started with 16 teams, and then it was 32, and then it was 48 teams. Then we went to CWL, and it was only 100. Then we had over 200 teams, and everything was going great in this community. And the God's honest truth, I actually blame the community for ruining wargaming support, because at that time, this game was good. Okay, when WCL was going, this game was good. Wargaming supported it. We had our own show. We had a lot of streamers dedicated to it. We had a lot of clans doing it. We had multiple teams in. It was structured. Okay, there wasn't all this when I need to be in my own league stuff. It was set up. It was set up perfectly. It was really good, and everybody just couldn't let that progress. And then when Wargaming cut that support off, the only thing that we were getting was, I guess, Global Map was kind of wargaming support, but I think it was actually a company giving wargaming, whatever, right? We lost that wargaming support at that time, and we never ever got that back. And we have tried, and there have been people in this community that have tried to do what they felt is right to get that back, and it's just never happened. So for me, I'm not buying into everything's going to get better. Okay, this game did not come out yesterday. Okay, there's going to be other games coming out that I think are actually really going to pull from this game, right? And if you want to sit there and think everything is going to get better because it's run by a bunch of people who act like that, I don't know, man. Because the people in charge, right? The one TA, I know this, okay? Years and years ago, I had a guy join my party saying how he was 3 marking tanks for the person. Okay? Now, I don't necessarily care. You can do whatever you want, right? But at the end of the day, why is a person who thinks like that? Like, I don't get it. Like, you're going to pay somebody else to 3 mark your tanks because the stripes on the barrel matter that much? And the other thing is that, like, who do you think you're 3 marking the tanks to look good to? You don't think somebody like me knows you're not good enough to do that you paid somebody to do that? Like, who are you tricking here? Okay? Now, at the end of the day, that person did do that. That person did think like that. Okay? Any way you want. That's true. Okay? And that's the people that are making decisions now. People that think like that. Okay? People who were able to, people who are going to pay people to 3 mark their tanks, blatantly get caught for it. Yeah. Okay? People who are allowed to cheat and create their own goddamn leagues and throw other teams under the bus so they can roll them over so they can look good. Those are the people that are welcome into these things. So, I mean, I don't know. But at the end of the day, right, if the community actually wants a good comp scene, you are not going to get it, in my opinion, from this. Okay? The way that this is run, it's run by people who don't have experience, have already showed they're willing to do shady stuff to make themselves look good. Okay? And the other TA, I'm going to clue you in on that. Okay? That guy, I have nothing, never, ever have I've done anything but try to help that guy. Okay, when he ran other discords, I would throw people in there. When he did other streams, my team would go in there and play for them. My second team would go in there and play for that. I always tried to give that guy views. I always sent, you can even ask my clan, always sent my clan into his streams when we didn't even have streams then. Always sent my clan into his streams. Always tried to support him. And when this happens to me, where's that guy? Nowhere. Nowhere. So the other guy in charge doesn't even have enough cojones to even give an opinion. Even if he was against me. Doesn't even have enough cojones to give me an opinion. So these are the people that are going to run things. A guy who doesn't even have enough balls to say anything, and a person who's known for shady stuff. And you can look at it any way you want, man. Right? But the proof's in the pudding. Okay? Those are things that I know. Okay? And you can look at it like any way, but if those are the people that are going to make the decisions for the tournaments and events that you guys are running, how do you think it's going to play out? Because right now, the last wargaming event, you get next to nothing gold for winning. What is it, 2,500? Like, what is that? Nothing. Okay, and there's only what, 8 teams playing on NA? 8 teams. So you think that's automatically going to get better with the same people doing the same thing running it? The reason why you ain't got teams, people don't want to be there, man. People on the other one that has more teams. People don't want to deal with these people. And the other thing is that my original opinion about the community manager was pretty good. Then it was kind of a hiatus. And then I don't even read that much Discord. This is the God's honest truth. I really don't. Like I said, I don't screenshot other people, what other people say to me. I don't care. Right? But when I read some comments that were said to the community from the community manager, one was like trying to guilt trip people, okay, about personal feelings or how they were feeling or whatever it was. One, I don't think a person, this is just my 2 cents, but I don't think a person who is there, who's like talking to community has any right to try to guilt trip those people into making them feel bad because they're just asking questions. That's my other 2 cents. And then I did see one comment where it was pretty much, hey, you don't like it? You don't like what I'm doing? Oh, you don't like this? Boom, boom, boom. There's the door. Ain't nobody gonna miss you. That's the person in charge. That's what they can say? You don't like it? There's the door. Ain't nobody gonna miss you? I don't know, man. Is that good etiquette to have the person who's supposed to be above you? And it's not like it was at a context where people were just in there. As far as I know, people were in there saying really mean things. Unless I just, maybe that stuff was deleted. I don't know. But I don't think a person in charge should be saying, ain't nobody going to miss you. Get out of here if you don't like what I got to say. Shouldn't this be people working together to find what the common good is? Right? It's not saying that this person's idea or this person's idea is the best. But at the end of the day, if the community and the people in charge aren't working together and everybody's fighting with each other and the outlook is, well, hey, if you don't like it, there's the door. Ain't nobody going to miss you. You ain't going to get the best result. I don't care what you say. You're not. It's not how it works, right? You can't have this divide with the people in charge. You can't have one guy don't want to say anything. You can have one person doing shady stuff, and you sure as hell can't have the main person who's just, well, you don't like it, see ya. Ain't nobody going to miss you. You know, maybe it's on the other way. You know, like, as a community, we are supposed to be the most powerful thing in the comp scene. Is the comp community, not the person running it, not the person streaming it, not the CCs, CAs, TAs, whatever, what all these stupid names you people have, right? Don't matter. It's supposed to be the community. The community is supposed to get what they feel is best, right? What kind of rules they want, what kind of things they want, who they want, okay? So that's kind of my rant a little bit there, but I just honestly think the whole situation is completely ridiculous. But if these are the people that you guys want to leave in charge and these are the people that you guys want to follow, it ain't going to work. I don't care. Sit there, tell me I'm wrong, go with it, try to prove me wrong. It ain't going to work. Okay? Unless a lot of people who are unhappy are willing to stay. Okay? The people who have put the backbone into this comp community, who understands what it takes to run a tournament, understands what it takes to run a Discord, understand what it takes to get streamers in there, understand what it takes to get good streamers in there, get views in there, get the game more popular. You're going to divide all that if it keeps going this way, and we ain't gonna have nothing. And maybe that's how this plays out. Maybe they come, maybe they give it a whole, hey, it's 2026, we're gonna try this. But I'm telling you, if those people are there, I'm not saying all, but I'm saying if the main structure is there of what's going on, I wouldn't have high hopes for it. Now, on the flip side, yes, there are other things that you can go. And I'm not going to say and sit there that those other tournaments are perfect because I really don't know. The only thing I could say is that I know this one has got a lot of problems. And I know this one decided, after I made one mistake, decided to ban me. That I know, right? So what does that tell? What does that tell you guys? If something isn't going, or something's going to be brought to light, or somebody doesn't like what somebody else says to somebody, people can just play the card of, oh, I'm going to protect my friend, see you later. How does that going to work out? Probably not that well, right? And, for me, I've always tried to be as honest, as fair as I can, and I understand that I'm not a robot. I understand I'm a person. I understand I make mistakes. I understand all that, right? But I've never done anything to the level that these people do. And they're the ones running the show. So you tell me, Now, like, did I really deserve to be completely canned? And you can go and watch the stream and you can go and watch exactly what I said and you can see who I'm talking about. And I ain't got nothing to hide, man. That's why I even told you guys can sit here and chat and look at it and ask me any question you want. I swear, I'm an open book. Anybody who knows me knows I'm like that. I ain't got nothing to prove as far as that goes, right? Been around for too long, and if people want to have opinions about me who've never met me, who've never talked to me, that's on you. That's just ignorance. Okay? You want to go off of whatever somebody says, go for it. Just remember that other person who's probably bad-mouthing me is probably because I probably didn't get along with them, kicked them out of my clan, right? Or rejected them, or whatever the case is, or they're a little salt, right? Not my problem, right? It's not my problem if I didn't want you in my clan. It's yours. It's not my problem if I happen to, if I had a really good record against you when we played. It's not my fault. I'm just playing the game. I never tried to bring up rules against people or any of this. And I know I'm kind of going in a circle with this, but either way, it really was to me that all the time I put into this game, I'm not saying I deserve anything for it. I'm not. I don't. Right? I'm not saying that people should say, hey, pat me on the back and fucking whatever. I don't want any of that. I don't need. But I do feel like I also have the right not to get literally just spit in my face like just what just happened. Okay? Because if I can do all that and boom, make one mistake, not even that I lied or I made anything up, but make one mistake, maybe take it a little bit over the top on the stream, maybe I shouldn't have called them out or whatever the case is, boom, banned. Right? But where's the logic of that? I've done that multiple and multiple times. When other cheaters have been on streams, I've called them out. So if the people in charge aren't doing it, like looking into who's streaming and they're just letting anybody come in and stream without saying, hey, is this guy actually right? That's not on me. I didn't change how I was. I did exactly what I always do. And now all of a sudden it's a problem. Because the same guy who's been complaining about me for years and years and years and years, literally years, people, all of a sudden finally got somebody to answer the door. Well, yeah, you can have it. And how's that working out for that guy now? Because now even more people know you're a cheater, dude. So I don't really even get the logic of that. But for me, yeah, and obviously try to keep the tat sheen. But for me, this is a lot of, for lack of a better term, just a lot of stupid stuff going on. And if I have to be the guy who eats the bullet to get it out, so be it, man. Whatever. I don't care. But the main message really for me is that as a community, if you guys really want to play this game, and you really want to get comp to back where it was. And for me, I've played video games for about going on 13 years now. I have never ever had more fun in a video game than I ever did playing comp in this game with my friends, right? So I want other people to, in a weird way, and maybe this makes me sound a little weird, but I want other people to kind of have that experience too. And I feel like as a natural progression for the game, as we're talking about the game as a whole, comp is important, okay? And Wargame has never really seen that, but it doesn't change the fact that maybe it is. Okay, because it's a natural progression in the game. You play the game, you get good at pubs, maybe you do the marks, maybe you join a good clan, but eventually, if you're really that a competitive person, like, competition, comp, right? That's how it works, right? If you're really in that and you have that, I've always competition. It's just who I am. I've always loved playing against people who are better than me, people worse than me. It doesn't matter, right? I like the competition. Is that it's important for the game. It keeps people into the game. It puts people into clans. It adds to the game, right? And Wargame is making a huge mistake, in my opinion, not supporting comp and just ditching us after CWL. But on the flip side, I understand it because a lot of people in the community at that time would just sit there and ask the same questions. And I don't blame the community manager for that time to deal with it, because why is somebody going to put in all that extra work to deal with that? So take it for what you want. But at the end of the day, if Wargaming is realizing over 10 years later that, hey, maybe the comp community is important, well then, if you're realizing that, you definitely should not run it like this. I don't care what you say. This is not the right way, man. Eight teams on NA, banning people who've been around forever, just throwing people to the side like they never did anything for you. Like, even the reality is that I'm not going to get superintended, but the guy who got removed from running that comp thing, man, if he wasn't there, I'm going to clue you guys in. If he wasn't there doing that in the last years and years and years he did, you ain't even coming into a comp scene, Wargaming. You ain't. You're not. It took you years to even get the Discord. It took you 6 years to make a game, one update to delete it, and now you're going back and trying to make the game like it was 6 years ago? Like, where's the process here, man? So I think that's pretty much it for me before I keep going on super long tangents. But for me, man, my main message is don't ever think if the person above you is doing wrong that you should just sit there and take it. Because we as a community are the people who have, for lack of a better term, the power. They don't have it without us, guys. They don't. And if we don't agree with how it's being run, then we should say something like I am now. That's my issue. And if you do, and if you want to sit there and say, hey, this isn't a big deal, this is just comp drama, who cares what Tubbins has got to say, feel free, do whatever you want. But mark my words, I truly, hardly don't believe that if these same people are going to be running it how they are, and I'm not saying that they even need to be removed. I'm not even saying any of that. I'm not calling for heads or anything like that. But I'm saying if it's going how it is right now, I do not see it going anywhere. I don't care. Even if they do this whole thing at the beginning of the year, this and that, and they promise you whatever they want, if the same outlook on running it is how it is now, don't expect too much. That's all I would say. I don't see it, right? You're getting rid of people that have put years and years and time over time into this. And those are the people that you're going to get rid of. For who? A hope for a grab of this thing? Man, comp is a niche thing, right? It's a niche community, and I understand that people get mad and they get upset with each other or whatever, and people have their own spouse. But at the end of the day, out of anybody who's me or my clan, at the end of the day, when that time passes, when that thing ends, when you talk to them and you meet them, if there's a mutual respect, you become friends with them anyway, man. Like there are people that I talk to and have in this game where I thought, no shot that I'm ever gonna be able to get along with that guy, like in the back of my. But like once you get to talk with them and you meet them, it's different, man. Like the community needs to be here for each other, not to throw people underneath the bus so you can try to cheat to get a win, not to throw people underneath the bus so you can get an extra $18 of Twitch money. Like whoopee doo, dude. Like what are you doing? Like I don't. I don't get that logic. And the other thing is that if you're one of these people that say, hey, I'm here for the comp community, but your actions speak otherwise, who are you trying to fool, man? Everybody can see right through it. Anybody with a half a brain at least can see right through it. So that's kind of how I look at it and really why I do this. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually really didn't even want to do this, but I felt like I kind of had to do this. I guess is a better way to put it because I knew nobody else was gonna do it. I knew there was a lot of kind of people who wanted me to do it, in a sense, to kind of bring this to light so people can say. So if people want to share this video, it's much appreciated. Let people know what's going on. I'm sure Noodle's still got other stuff to say. I'm sure I'm probably still gonna cut him off and come over with more points. Um, Man, I haven't talked this long in a while like this, dude. I feel like I'm on a
Yeah,
stage.
no, I mean it was
But
good. You
yeah.
hit all the points, the nail on the head. I do want to mention a couple of things to people though. So, while Tubbins was talking, I was just, reading chat, paying attention to things, answering DMs, and I've noticed a trend tonight, and I want people to maybe think about this too. Two points. Number one, I put the chat on the screen for a reason. Okay. Now I was hoping that it wouldn't come to this reason, but it did. The reality of the situation is multiple people from the same clan tonight have come to this chat and accused us and I guess your typical comp people of being the most toxic people in this game. And I'm going to be honest with you, reading the chat, and I'm sure you guys can all go back and read it yourselves, or you've been paying attention the whole time. Nobody's really been toxic except for the people that have been in here trying to
here's
point,
my
I guess.
rebuttal to that. Here's my rebuttal to that. And I'm going to explain this to you as simply as I can. Okay? If I am a super toxic person, okay, if I'm super toxic, how come until now I never was banned from anything? Remember what I said. I've played in the most tournaments probably out of anybody on this game. How come in every single one of those tournaments I played in, if I'm super toxic, I was never banned? I don't even think I was ever even warned. Okay? How come if I'm so toxic, wouldn't I have used rules against people when I could have? Because there was plenty of times I could have. Wouldn't I have exposed people for cheating? I've had people cheat against me, guys, and I knew they were doing it, and I didn't even tell. Okay? I told the guy who was leading the clan, yeah, hey, dude, your team's cheating. You do what you want. I'm not even going to report you. The other thing is, if I'm such a super toxic person, how come I was able to run a giant clan for so long? What do you think? I just go around and find the most toxic people I can join? No. It's because it was a good culture of people, man. The complete opposite. When you show up to my clan, like that one guy I called out on stream, he gets forced out of my clan. We had a guy who was a community contributor in my clan who got caught free marking tanks. I didn't even have to kick him. My guys did it. They ran him out of town. Okay? My clan did not allow that. If you got caught doing free marking tanks, if you got caught doing any of that shady stuff, anything shady, you got ran out of my clan. Look at it what you want. Call me toxic all you want, but the proof's in the pudding. If I was a toxic person, there's no way any of those things I just mentioned could have happened. If I was toxic, I would have been banned already. If I was toxic, I would have used rules against people. If I was toxic, I would have let those people who were cheating in my clan stay. I would have let the toxic people in my clan stay. I never did. Now, I can only speak for me. I know there was a little hiatus after I was gone. I took a break after 6.0 where somebody else ran my clan, and maybe you can use that against me, but that ain't me. Right? My brand, sure, but it ain't me. Right? I don't even know what that person did, nor do I care. Right? But at the end of the day, if I am such a toxic person, explain to me why, until now, I've never been banned, never used rules against people, and was able to run such a good clan. It speaks for itself, man. Now, I understand I could be an abrupt kind of a-hole at times. Sure. 100%. Am I going to take somebody else's fucking crap for no reason to be a nice guy? No, I'm not. It's not who I am. But look at it logically, man. If I was a toxic person, I would be in the position that the toxic people are in bad teams, trying to get out or not playing the game. I'm not, and never have been. People wouldn't have joined my clan if I was that kind of person. Do you not understand that? Right? I've had friends in this game. We don't even play. I still talk to them for years. We don't even play the game anymore. We still talk. I'm sure that some of them are in chat. Okay? They didn't stay friends with me all those years. we weren't even playing the same game because I was a piece of shit of a person, don't even make sense, man. Like, I ain't got nothing to prove on that thing. And you can sit here and you can say whatever you want, right? Where's the proof? Where is it? Exactly. None of you guys are going to be able to show it. You're never going to see where I cheated. You're never going to see where I asked somebody to 3 mark tanks for me. You're never going to see me use rules against people. You're not going to find it because I didn't do it. You understand? I know I didn't do it. I wouldn't be sitting here, okay, if there was a bunch of skeletons in the closet for you guys to go find. You're going to open up the closet door and see nothing but cobwebs. There's nothing there. Okay? My point is that I can make one mistake on this, and I'll even admit I was somewhat wrong, took a little bit over the top. But one, I don't even feel like I should be in that position if people don't like the way I do it, right? Because you know who I was. I was there streaming. I've done this before, and then I get banned for it. So you can take your things and you can pick your, and the other thing is that people acting like that, okay, of coming in here and saying, hey, you're this way or you're that way, I can guarantee those people in that thing probably have never even met me, talked to me, been in a party with me. Ever. I guarantee it. Right? They've never even met me, never even done any of that. Okay? So who's your opinion coming from? And the other, that's where the problem comes from. Is why I said in the beginning of the stream, make an opinion for yourself. Come to your own conclusion for yourself. Take the information that's handed for you. Take what you know. If somebody's gonna say, hey, this happened, have them somewhat prove it to you so you can believe it. You don't just need to believe people blindly, man. Be smart enough. You know how many times when I ran a clan, somebody would come to me and say, hey, I heard you're going to let this guy in your clan. Don't do it because of this and this and this. I can make my own opinion about who I let in my clan. I can tell if somebody's going to fit in with my people. I can tell if I think they're a good person. Okay, I made those decisions for me. I never took the word of somebody else and let it influence the decision I was going to make on who got in my clan or whether I was friends with that person. I'm smart enough to think for myself. I hope you people are too. I mean, you know, I don't get that. So any of those people who want to spew that, you're proving the point. Okay? You're proving the point that community is split and none of you people can make decisions for yourself. Well, not none, but some people can't make decisions for yourself. So do it, man. You ain't making yourself look good. Come in here with these people's minions or whatever you people do is that crazy world you people live in, man. But it ain't gonna happen. Like, say what you want, but you ain't gonna find stuff on me. Go for it. The only thing you're gonna find is what I just did and what I got banned for. And if that was the case, I was gonna get banned for that. I should have been banned years ago. Because I call it out of seed. If you make a mistake when I'm doing a comp stream, I let people know. If you're a known cheater, sometimes I let people know. If you're a known toxic player who rage quits and screams in your parties, sometimes I'll let people know. The other thing is that's so stupid to me is that when you call these people out, the other thing is sometimes I got people from your own team messaging me, bad-mouthing you to me as I'm streaming you. I don't know. Did my clan do that to me when I was playing? Probably not. So
yeah, and
take it for what it is.
to answer your question, Guano, I seen it. You know, you asked about that person being so toxic. Why are they doing such a good job with a big clan? Here's the thing. I don't think either of us have ever said anything about that person being toxic. Being toxic and abusing your power multiple weeks in a row are two different things. Now, you can call that toxic, sure, but that's just not what we're saying, right? And another thing, I know this has been a hot topic in the chat, but I hope people can go back and maybe listen to the stream. That person was not a topic of this stream. You know, we brought it up to provide transparency to the situation. But the overall point we're trying to get across is, you know, this whole community in a whole is toxic in a way when you think about it. You know, everybody's always said this, said that, ran here, ran there. You know, that's created a lot of the problems. You know, and here's my opinion. You know, on the wargaming thing, you know, when it comes to this competitive stuff, you know, when you look at our community, they have zero reason, like literally zero reason to want to support this shit. Like zero reason. You know, and you can't
Well,
blame
I
that
don't think that's
on
entirely. I don't think that's entirely true.
not
I
entirely,
think
but
you
you
can say
can't
that.
but you
Now, I mean,
can't
at the
blame
end of
that
the
on
day,
one person, right? The CATA, and that's not what we're trying to do. You know,
there's
a
multiple
lot of
problems. The other,
people are to blame
the,
for this.
the other thing is, if you're running a clan, but it's not like a comp clan or whatever, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you run a clan that just lets people in the door because it's a streamer clan, I don't care, right? I don't think that proves either way. The point that I'm making is like I had comp players. You understand? Like my guys were in tournaments all the time. You know? Like people are not going to if I was doing weird, toxic, shady stuff, they wouldn't have stayed. Now on the flip side of that, you can say, okay, well if that other person starts putting multiple teams in tournaments and starts doing that and this starts getting exposed, maybe you do see, maybe, or maybe not. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. But at the end of the day, I'm not here to argue that point, right? I'm just here to kind of defend what happened to me and let you guys know. And if you guys want to take this side of keeping everything split up, and nobody cares. And as far as this, like, oh, I'm trying to get power, I ain't getting nothing out of this. I can care less. I don't need power on an Xbox.
Yeah, the
Like, I
only
hate
thing
to
we
clue
ever
some.
wanted
I
was to
hate to
stream
clue some
matches.
people in on it. Yeah, like I enjoy streaming matches because I've known this community for so long. It's nice when I get into chat and I see some of my old friends come in and I could talk to some of the people that I spent years playing with. That's why I like doing it because it's it's a community I know. There's no other like I don't play a lot of games, right? So like I played World of Tanks, I played Smite 1 for a little bit. Smite 2 I think sucks, but either way like I played Smite 1 and I play like games here or there, but I really don't play a lot of other games. So like this is the community that I know, right? These are the people that I know. So for me, yeah, I am gonna speak my mind when I feel like something's bad. And at the end of the day, if you're all in here trying, like, I haven't seen one of these people that are saying all this stuff come in with anything but their word. Everybody knew this stream was gonna happen. I can guarantee all those people were ready to do this. Not one of them had anything though. You know, not one person had anything. So, like it wasn't like, hey, I got banned, went on this tangent. The reality is that,
And
and I
I
don't know
provided the
this, but
screenshots to show that.
yeah, but I don't know this, but a couple days before I even got banned, I did tell Noodle and somebody else we're probably gonna have to try to get away from this wargaming stuff because this just isn't worth our time, right? As far as how everything was going and all the stuff that was going on and all the all the nuances, right? And the reality is, you guys can look at this any way you want, okay? Over the last couple months, the people that have put in the most time into this comp community are the people getting pushed out,
Yeah.
right? The people who were here when wargaming wasn't. The people who kept the comp community alive when wargaming didn't support us. When wargaming pulled their support, the people that still played, the people that still kept it alive, the people that still streamed, all those people, the people now that are getting pushed out. Okay? Now, if you guys think that that's good, go for it, man. I don't know. But that's what's happening. Okay? And the people that have probably been waiting to maybe should be in more roles with more decisions and maybe a little bit more power, however you want to view it, they're also just getting shafted down to the bottom. Okay? So at the end of the day, I don't care how anybody wants to look at it. But if you're going to put people that are going to make the decisions that don't have the experience to do so, or haven't had the experience of even playing, or know a lot of people, or even have a lot of people that view them the wrong way, it's probably not going to work. I can't sit here and say it's definitely not going to work, but I don't see how it's going to. Okay? You can't, you can't just can all the people who've built the foundation, more than the foundation, in my opinion. Because if that foundation crumbles, you ain't got nothing. Okay? And if this even comes to, and I'm sure people are like, well, what do we do it for? You ain't getting nothing anyway. What are we getting? 2,500 gold, 8 teams on NA to deal with all of this?
Yeah.
is that even worth it? Like why? Like for me, it's like why is even some teams even in there? Like what's even the point? You know?
And to answer
But
your
it's
question, Faultiers, and I've seen this question a lot. I'm sorry I haven't answered it yet. You know, a lot of people are wondering what we're streaming, right? And the answer is no. We no longer have, even if we wanted to, we no longer have the ability to stream any WoT console competitive wargaming sponsored tournament match. We have been removed from all that. We have went over to Calamity, and we will be streaming their season over there. I think Dave's got something in the works that we're looking at maybe streaming, but in short, no, we no longer have the ability to stream any wargaming event. To the best of my knowledge, there's only, 2 or 3 streamers left over there. So I got removed. I provided the screenshots at the beginning of the stream. We will be putting this on YouTube. You can go back and look. I provided all screenshots. But in short, I was removed for speaking up for Tubbins being removed. And that's it. I didn't break any rules. I wasn't disrespectful. I literally did nothing wrong. I was just trying to hold wargaming leadership in that server to the standards that they were trying to hold others. They would pick and choose who the rules applied to. And I was just bringing light to that. And that's what this entire stream is really about. Not just one person.
yeah, well, I mean, like at the end of the day, I can only like kind of guess, but like, you know, like it's pretty clear when you read the messages from the community manager, it's my way or the highway. And I don't think that probably realized that, you know, that anybody was gonna speak up. I don't know, but I don't see how I can just get completely shit canned here, and people around me can do way worse stuff. I'm sorry, way worse stuff. It wasn't like I brought up anything like what I said was true. You can cut and slice any way you want. You could say it, say, hey, you shouldn't have said it. Hey, it was a little out of line. But it wasn't a lie. It wasn't a lie. And like I got canned for it. And the other thing is like not even come and talk to me about it.
Yeah. And
just
also,
send somebody else. You just send somebody else to tell me.
Also, it's worth mentioning, okay? This entire time, we have accepted the fact that what Tubbins did was not okay. This has nothing to do with that. But we were just trying to provide context. At the end of the day, here's the reality, and I think everybody in the stream will agree with what I'm about to say, even if you hate me. Tubbins is a human being, just like the rest of us, and we make mistakes, okay? Tubbins, before that stream started, he explained this stuff to you guys earlier, but I want you to really think about it because Wargaming didn't care. Before that stream ever started, Tubbins had found out about what this CATA had did, okay? And any logical person, when they find that out and then find out that they're allowed to create their own punishment and there was really no punishment, to be fair, the only people that got punished was the players on the team that wasn't even responsible for what had happened, okay? When Tubbins had found that out, just like any normal comp person, he was like, oh, wow, that's upsetting. That sucks, yada, yada. But then he joins the room, and there's another team that has made an appearance in comp for the first time in, I don't even really know the exact date, but a long time. And they're a team that in reality should not be allowed in wargaming tournaments, okay? Because of the cheating that they did. That's not an accusation. That's a proven fact. It happened. It was shitty. So at that point, Tubbins being the human he is, he was like, holy cow, this is just double whammy, boom, boom, bam. And he got mad and simply just said it on stream. You can go back and watch it.
I don't think man's aware. I mean, I think it's more just like for me.
It wasn't even bad.
I mean, for me, it's more just disappointing. Like I can't comprehend how this community is moving. I can't understand how this community is moving backwards. Why are we moving backwards? Like why?
Ricardo, that got washed away.
Yeah,
that's
like
that
why
got
is
washed
there
away.
less teams? Why is it moving back? Like and if people want to Yeah, exactly. But either way, sorry, I was reading a
So
comment.
anyway,
Like,
short of it, you can go back and look at the screenshots. All we were trying to do was not get Tubbins unbanned. That's not what we ever tried to do. We were just trying to bring fairness to the situation.
yeah, like I'm gonna, and I know anybody who knows me, I'm gonna tell you guys right. As soon as like even before I got banned, guys, I was done because I knew if that I was gonna have to fight for this, I was done. I don't care. Like I'm not going. Like I am not a person who is going to support something that I think is asinine. It's not gonna happen. It never will. Okay. And so I can care less, like ban me, whatever, right? And you can even use that, but like there was just so many things, like I even this rule thing, like if you read it, like I knew all this
Yeah,
going
yeah.
in, like I'm not born yesterday. Like
That's
if you
another
read it,
thing.
it's like warning this. That's why I even asked you to put on stream. Was like you get a warning and then you get something else and then you get banned. They just went right to ban, and I get it, and I can understand that, like you want you if you're a person who's like kind of in charge eventually, like sooner or later, you do kind of need to flex your muscle a little bit. I understand that, but this is not the way to go about it. Okay, like I've done way too much.
How do I even?
like like I don't know, who cares. I've done way too much, in my
This
opinion, for
stream
this
right here.
community. Yeah,
This is
like
the
it
stream.
was. Yeah, like I've done way too much, I feel like, for this community to really be treated like that. That's
Here,
really
I'll
my
just put a
nuance. And the
link in
other
the
thing
chat.
is, and the other thing is, like I said, I repeated this before. I have done this before. Like I have called people out on streams for cheating before. So if the way I do it isn't how you want it, isn't how that person wanted it, why am I even there? So I can do exactly so like I can be there to do what I always do and then get punished for it? Is that the logic behind it? Okay, well he's always done this and now he does it again. Now it's not okay. Where's the logic behind that? Right? I get canned for doing something I always did anyway, and the other person can just make up their rules and people can just have opinions and people just have like, nah, man, And I understand that maybe, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't have been put there or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm not getting into it because I wasn't there. I can only tell you what I know, and the only thing that I know, not a shadow of doubt in my mind, this is the worst I've seen in this community. I don't care. Like this is crazy. And the other thing is that people want to say, well, we need wargaming support. We need. They need you. Okay, you got to stop having them. They need you because even if they pull it, you're not. What are you guys missing out on? Drama? 2,500 gold? What? What does fourth place get? A day of premium? I don't even know. Like it's not worth this, right? They need to be to help the community not make this worse. And at the end of the day, I don't care what you say. In my honest opinion, this is way worse than it's ever been. And maybe it was worse at some other time when I've been around of them. But this is just crazy. And I also can see some people saying, and this I can somewhat agree with, if you were to say, hey, Tubbins, you probably should have just not even brought this to light and just waited because that person would probably be gone anyway. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe. But at the end of the day, I just can't be a person who's gonna just be treated like this and then take it. And it's whatever. It's only a game, and whether you get banned from played, it is what it is, right? That's whatever. But I can't sit there and see all these things happening that I know of, and that's why I wasn't gonna get into screenshots and the stuff and all that other stuff because I'm not there for it. I don't know, and it's not my cup of tea to go chasing around doing that stuff. But how I was treated, the actions, what I saw, I just think is nuts. So for me, that was my message. You know, some people in this community need to let bygones be bygones with some people, and you need to start working together to fix this. And if it's not worth your time to do that, then don't worry about it. I'm not here to say, hey, you guys need to play comp. Hey, you guys need to go to another thing. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm really here hoping that you guys can make your own decision. And I understand that some people, I can easily read by the comments, they've already made their decision, okay? And they can believe whatever they want and they can believe whoever they want, right? But at the end of the day, something I found out through my whole life, the truth always rears its head somewhere, and the people who did wrong always get what they deserve sooner or later. Okay? And it ain't gonna be me in this one. I promise you that. It's not gonna be me. And it's just a shame, man. It's just a shame it even honestly got to this point. And hopefully, this gets shared. Hopefully people can listen to what I said and listen to what Noodle said and showed you and can really make your own decisions for yourself on how you feel this should be. And I'm sure there's people that are going to say, well, who cares about any of this? If you're going to waste your time playing, even if you're not a leader of a clan, even if you're not the caller of the team, even if you're not the sub caller or whatever it is, if you're going to play, you should care enough to know what you're playing in. And you should want to know these things. And you should be able to make your own decision. Right? And even if it's, hey, go with your clan and talk about it and decide what you want to do and take the 15 minutes to have a meeting and listen to everybody else's opinions and make a clan decision on what you want to do, fine. But don't just go in there. Don't, listen to this without being open-minded. If you are not open-minded from both sides, okay, and this is even me, kind of saying, I'm not even, take what they say, whatever. Take their side. It's fine, right? Take their side, take our side, make a logical decision on what you want to do with this and what you feel is best for your team, and whether it's still play in these things, play in both of them, only play in one of them, or whether it's not to play at all, right? But make the decision for yourself. Don't let somebody else make the decision for you, right? And I know everybody who knows me. I know everybody who knows me is, whether they like me or not, they're going to know that everything that comes out of my mouth is what I feel is 100% the truth. Right? And that's fine. That's all I can do. I can only bring what I say. But what was done, what it has been, is just it's got to be handled, in my opinion, or let it burn. It is what it is. But it's a shame at the end of the day, that the pricing is what it is, and these are the people, in my opinion, running it. And I would never, because I thought about it a couple months ago, even though I kind of always told somebody no, I would never bring my team into playing in a tournament run like this. I wouldn't, personally. And that's all I can say. So I'll let Noodle finish up here.
Yeah.
And hopefully, like I said, I really hope people share this and make your own opinions. And we'll get out of here and stop wasting everybody else's time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Saturday. Go enjoy your Saturday. Ultimately, we just wanted to take a time out of our Saturdays and bring this to you, show you the stuff we could show you at the beginning. You can go back, watch it again. Also, all this is posted in the Discord in the announcement channel. You're free to go in there and view that as you please. This isn't a headhunt. This is just simply a cry for transparency and fairness.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's really all it is.
Don't, if you're going to, if this is your way of doing things, stick to it. You get, that's just how I look at it. There's just was so many things I've disagreed with that I felt like need to be brought to light, and I hope, and I think I even tangent and whatever. But I think the point was still the thing. And before we get out, add us and ask me any question before we leave here. Now's your time to do it. Answer Tom's. I promise you, I'll answer it as best I can.
Yeah, right? And Dave, I'll post that and I'll talk about that. You can chime in the chat if you'd like, but for those of you that aren't aware, and I'll post it in the Discord. Winged Racer, which is community, I don't remember his exact title, but he's KB's boss. Okay. He posted about the future of comp going into 2026 with Wargaming. Gave some ideas that they're looking at, some things they're thinking about implementing. And look, I'm going to tell you this, okay? Does what they want to do, from what it sounds like, mean the end of comp like you're seeing on the screen right now? Yeah, I think it does. Is that necessarily bad for the overall health of the game? I don't really know. I do know this. No new team in the public part of the game could come in and play comp the way we play it now and really, truly, realistically have a chance at winning a tournament. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that. It's not Wargaming's fault. It's not our fault. So I'm not going to judge what Wargaming is looking at doing with comp moving forward, with regiments and changing rules and the way it's done, whatever, right? I also want you to know, though, this is the same company that told you months ago that you were going to get unique camos for winning a tournament, okay? That unique camo turned out to be a recycled, what they call it, ranked camo. They only gave one, right? And then a couple weeks after the tournament was going, they did an in-game event where they gave that camo away to people in the game anyway. Okay. This is also a company that has been saying for over 10 years they were going to do this, and this for the comp community.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even here to even and truthfully, like I said, when Wargaming really was supporting us back in the day and they left, I didn't even blame them. So I can't sit here, and that's the honest truth. I really didn't. I kind of blamed some people in the community of the way they acted, because I wouldn't want to deal with that either if I was in.
Yeah.
Right. But now, it's a little bit different. And I think, things should always improve over time. I think that should be the goal. The game should always be trying to improve over time. The community should be trying to improve over time. The rules should improve over time. You should bring in people that have experience, the people that can help. And I just don't see that happening, and people can take it forever they want. But if you're going to support it, then just realize what you're supporting.
Yeah.
And maybe, and at the end of the day, this is the truth. If this stream brings to light and things change and things get better over there and I have to eat the bullet of getting shit canned for it, it's worth it for me.
100%.
Because even if some of my old friends that I play with and, people that, I am friends with, if they get to go in tournaments again and it's what they want to do, then fine. I'll eat the bullet and they can have me from commentating and not doing it, whatever, I mean, I only came back to do it for you guys anyway because I was, don't get that twisted. I wasn't over there oh, please let me know. Now I know I stream with Noodles, so I don't know all the ins and outs if Noodles asked or whatever, but I've always been asked to come and do it and I've never had a problem. And, if they want to get rid of me, then, well, listen, man, they're going to get rid of anybody.
Yeah.
So if you disagree or whatever, I mean, that seems to be the message here. But either way, it doesn't look like anybody actually wants to ask questions, which is a little disappointing. I was hoping to get at least one.
Well, I mean, a lot of the information has answered all the questions, right? And just to recap, you can go back to the beginning. That's where we posted screenshots of some of this information we've talked about. And this will be posted on YouTube later, so feel free to check that out. I'd really appreciate it if you guys shared this around with as many people as you possibly can. At the end of the day, we ultimately just wanted to stream games. We enjoy it. We really do. We try to put on the best show we can for you guys. And, no, we're not going to stop. We're just going to, we've been pushed over to Calamity. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Don't think Calamity's bad. We've been pushed there. I know it sounded rough, but Calamity is a great tournament. It's been around a long time. I think this is our 5th season. Burns does a phenomenal job over there. It's just our schedule was tough trying to stream, WoT console competitive games and Calamity games. So don't take that bad. So we will be at Calamity. And then, Dave is looking at doing some things. I don't know, much about that. You're going to have to get with Dave on those. But nonetheless, I'm sure we'll be a part of that in some way, shape, or form too.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Vader, I've been doing good. I've actually was going to message you in Metal, see maybe we can link up and actually get some games in. Been a while. I used to play with Metal and Vader a lot. Actually, World of Tanks, believe it or not. But yeah.
And another
But either way, it
thing,
looks like
I
yeah,
want
keep
to
going.
I want to say one more thing before we get out because I wanted it on video, and
That's so dirty, monkey.
I
You're
have
gonna do him like
apologized to
that?
this person in a voice chat, so he has heard this apology from me. But I want everybody in the community to hear this apology from me because some that are here saw me make this comment in a comp chat in the WoT console Discord. World of Tanks or Wargaming, I should say, had announced that they brought on a guy to, I guess, be the voice of comp with Wargaming. His name's Swindle. A lot of you guys remember the guy. He used to be a CC. When I seen the name, I automatically attached bad things to his name without knowing the truth of the matter. And I wanted that to be out there for you guys that maybe had read my comments that were negative about him, to just let you know that I apologize for those. I'm giving you another example of myself making wrongs, right? I should have never said those things, and I apologize for that. So,
Swindle's a good guy. I've known, Swindle like played with me in the first tournament that this game ever had. Like he was on my team. Like he's a great guy. Everything that guy so but I mean he was put here and hopefully he helps but either way I think there's a lot of things that need to change and that was the point of this and I'm not gonna keep going around and around and around. We'll let you guys get back to your Saturday and I hope that at the end of you take two things out of this, realize that the community's got to be the one with the power, guys. Like if we see something wrong, we have to stick together and stand up. It can't just be one person who does it because obviously you can see what happens. Only one person that does it, right?
yeah, and I want y'all to understand too. Sometimes you got to speak up, even when you don't feel like you're gonna make a difference. Look, Tubbins and I are in the same scenario right now, right? We're getting removed from things. We're losing our ability to do things we love to do because we've decided to speak up. There are a lot of people in this community. There's a lot of people in this chat that could speak up about a lot of things that Tubbins and myself can't speak up about. And that's a personal decision these people have to make. But I will say, at the end of the day, speaking up brings the power back to the players.
Yeah, but it's not even those people. I mean, it's also, you guys also got to understand, man, is that like, if things don't change and things are going to be this way and whatever, like, understand, it doesn't matter. Like, they can't do it without the players. Period. Like, that's how it
100%.
works. Like, that's how it works. So, the players, the community is the most important thing. Okay, the people that are playing the game is the most important thing. Not how many views this other person has, not who's doing this or who's doing that or who's making. It's the people playing the game. Okay, and there's other places to play if you don't want to support this, and I'm not. That's your decision to make. But like, understand this is not like you have to. You never have to.
No.
You know what I mean? Like if you don't feel it's right, you don't have to. And the community's got to get back to the how it kind of was. I think a little. I think there was always drama, but the community was more, especially back then, trying to push for better for the community. This is a lot. I wasn't really going to get into. This is a lot of selfish stuff going on. Okay, this is a lot of people that are going to throw people, like from what I see, right underneath the bus for self gain. Okay, and if those are the people that you think are going to make the best decisions for the community, I just don't see how that's a thing unless the best decisions for the community or what's going to give them what they want.
Yeah.
And it's I hate to even say that about, some people, but it's how I feel. And actions speak louder than words. And people can see a lot of it. And you take it for what it is. And if you want to just make this say, this is just, Tubbins made, he got banned, believe whatever you want and do whatever you want. Because I truly believe that it's all going to come to light anyway. If things don't change, it ain't going to work. I don't see it. Okay, so either way, you put this video on the internet, and if people don't want to do anything and they want to stick by and it don't work, well, then I can say I told you so. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if it does work and things do change, they do listen as they do change, I'll eat the bullet for you. I'll live with the ban. I won't play the game, whatever. As long as it works out better for the people that I used to play with and people that I feel like are good friends of mine that are in other clans. If they get benefit out of this, so be it. That's fine by me too. But either way, we'll let you guys go.
Yeah, we're going to get out of here, but just to answer a couple of you in the chat real quick. Look, at the end of the day, a lot of their people came in here, said a lot of things, some of which were ban worthy. None of my mods, I instructed on this at the beginning of the stream. We didn't ban any of them. We didn't ban any of that. So if they want to ban people for just being here, that's their decision. But I think that should speak volumes to you. Another thing I want to let you know, because I saw it mentioned in the chat. Somebody's watching this replay on the screen and they said DECOY was getting doo-dooed on. I know you haven't been paying attention to this game and you've been listening and all this. This is a replay. This was a good one. I will run it for you if you haven't seen it. SYN does go on to win. I'll fast forward for you, but DECOY does. They go on a battle spree here, man. They win a few back to back. They brought it back to a really tight game. We'll fast forward here. This is a lot left. I mean, we're only like halfway through. As you can see, they're 4-6 there, going into the ending. And I believe, yeah, they win it out 7-4 there. Score doesn't look like it was that close, but this was one of the most entertaining games we've done in a very long time. So that's kind of why I picked it tonight.
If it was good, he probably would have started with this match.
Yeah, probably. But
yeah, but it's all right.
Yeah, but either way,
we're appreciate your time, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. I really appreciate you coming out, man. I think we busted 100 tonight. That's crazy. I really just thank you guys. I hope you take this for what it is, and apply it, going forward. Hold the powers players and get them to enforce rules fairly. That's kind of what I hope comes out of it. But I really appreciate you guys coming out. And Tubbins, like always, man, it's been a blast. Everybody, you can look forward, or you can look for us over in Calamity coming up. We chose not to stream today, unfortunately. We were just wanting to, keep everything all our attention on this.
Yeah, we kind of just wanted to do this.
Yeah.
We'll be back bringing you guys content.
For sure. I'll have to look at their schedules. Maybe there's a match we can pick up tomorrow. I'll check it out. Otherwise, we'll be back next week with more comp streams. So anyway, if you're not in the Discord, somebody can put a link in there. Join our Discord. Love to have you there. That's where we post all of our information for the streams. Look, we don't do the toxicity crap. Like I told you when we started, today's a very rare thing. We just don't try to get caught up in this.
I mean, people can view it as they want. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like it had to be done. And like I even said in the stream, it's a really thing for me to do. I honestly kind of felt weird even doing it.
Yeah.
But I also know that, I'm in a position where I can do it. So it's got to be done, and hopefully, everybody makes their own decisions and, take it for what it is. Take it for what it is. And
I appreciate you guys.
Let's just hope, everything gets better and, we can get, the game where it gets to the state where like people like me want to come back and play. I think that's the end goal. But either way, if things aren't, where I think they're going to be in the future, I also think there's probably going to be another game that's somewhat similar to this, and we'll have comp and stuff like that. And I hope that people also from this community, if things don't get better over here, are open-minded to that too.
Yeah, and if y'all haven't heard of that game, it's literally World of Tanks Heat. It used to be called Project Cold War. It's in development right now. They have a Discord up. They have videos, YouTube's. Go check it out. Join it. I don't know when the release date is, but hopefully soon. It's going to be a phenomenal game. It's going to be a phenomenal game.
Yeah,
it is a little bit different.
Super into
yeah, they are. They're very competitive. In a sense, and
I mean, you kind of have gears and you have abilities, but it's not tremendously crazy. I mean, it's still a game. At the core of it is still a strategy team-based tank game.
I agree, Stubble. Yeah.
If that's what you're into, that too. But at the end of the day, it's.
Go ahead.
Oh, keep going. No, you're good.
Funny, I couldn't even do that if I wanted to. Like everybody else, I'm also banned over there. So, but nonetheless, it's been a blast. Really appreciate you guys. I do want to thank.
Yeah, thank you guys for showing up.
Yeah, I do want to thank, the coordinators that have been running these tournaments for us the last few years under Dave's leadership. It's been, honestly, in my opinion, it's been the best it's been ever in comp. And I played in the days of GTL and Global and ITW and, you name them. And Dave and his coordinators, Kellen and Tally and Koza. I mean, the list is endless of the people that support it. Done a great job. I really appreciate it. I think the players do too. Comp's been really good in the last couple of years. So thank you to you guys that were a part of the comp building and holding together community, even though Wargaming's kind of slashing it. You know what I mean? I really do appreciate all that. And I know the players do too.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care what you say. The people who built this foundation deserve a little bit more respect.
Yeah.
That's it. Like period. Right? Like this is way more, like even if they want to come swooping in, like there was like a 3-year gap there where we didn't even hear boo. No prizing, no boo from Wargaming really. And if they're going to come in here and swoop and just, like they wouldn't even have anything to swoop if it was. Like literally they would have nothing to swoop if it wasn't for us. And the way I feel like some of the people who've done all the work are being treated right now is just flat out wrong. I don't care. It's wrong. Like I don't see how anybody could view this and not come to that conclusion that it's wrong. And I'm not going to get into like bashing other people or whatever it is, but like at the end of the day, the way some of the people who've put in all their time for the good of the community is getting shafted like this. Nah, man, that ain't cool.
Yeah.
It just ain't cool.
And Dave,
Anyway, I'm going to get out of here.
Dave, I do know what you're doing. Maybe everybody in this stream could DM Dave on Discord all at the same time and get a little sneak peek or maybe an invite. Not to put you on the spot or anything there, buddy, but there you go. Either way, it's been a blast. I really appreciate you guys. Stick to Discord. Check out the schedules for the comp streams. Share this. Go to YouTube. Watch the video. Share the video. Love the video. Whatever the thing is for the thing on the thing. I appreciate you guys. Tubbins, it's been a blast. Everybody, you guys take it easy.
Yep. Have a good one, guys. Peace.
Hey, Noodle. Let me take him out. Like a ticking time bomb, we about to blow. And I wipe out the ops like an obstacle. Line them all up like dominoes. Then we watch them all fall like Geronimo. Brain like tanks cause we on a roll. And we got more rounds in a pot of gold. Catch more shells than Galapagos. No safe landings in a war zone. That's real. Got sauce, no tartar. And I drop bars, that's fact. You got a clan behind them, they diabolic. They always got his back. They'll drop a hater cause clutch kings don't tolerate disrespect. I'm too official like a ref whistle. Move foul, get hit with the tech. My brother Noodle, he number one. He taking over, he blasting off. Y'all clowns ain't going up. Y'all stagnant. Y'all vision flawed. I flip the bird like Tony Hawk. We serving shots and it's on the rock. Noodle stream really one-to-one. If you hate and use a hoe. Like a ticking time bomb, we about to blow. And I wipe out the ops like an obstacle. Line them all up like dominoes. Then we watch them all fall like Geronimo. Brain like tanks cause we on a roll. And we got more rounds in a pot of gold. Catch more shells than Galapagos. No safe landings in a war zone. That's real. But please don't make me go and grab that still. Banana clips all on me, but your cap is getting peeled. All your homies phony, they be capping, they ain't real. Yeah, they ain't real.